Yes, hold on. Now that we're live on Spreaker.com as well. How y'all doing?
Like, you gotta be careful that you ain't outing some business at the same time as talking some shit.
Okay, now let's differentiate.
If the homie did some foul shit, but it ain't no foul shit with victims, you know what I mean? If he thieving, if he fucking rob, whatever, hustling or some shit, shut your fucking mouth. But if like, dude, if you got some dirt on dude that you know can eat his soul, but it ain't gonna get him locked up, throw that shit in his fucking face.
Okay, now y'all gotta understand that this is the kind of conversation we usually have on Hardline, which is on Friday. So tune into that because we get more in depth. But no, you're making sense. You're making sense because people, like, what happens on Hardline is still relevant to candid conversations because, like, you have people pulling some snake shit, you know what I mean, to get ahead of somebody else when all they have to do is have a civil conversation and they could probably resolve it.
Oh, facts, bro. I deal with that all the time. Literally fucking dealing right now with, like, homie in fucking, like, 15, 20 years who's salty as fuck because he sees certain people that we were kicking it with doing their thing, and he's still stuck in, like, 1999, so fuck him.
This candid conversation is brought to you in part by my purchasing of this Mocha Frappuccino by Starbucks. Never thought I'd endorse anything by Starbucks. I was wrong. Yeah, we went there. Okay.
I'd like to take full credit.
You can take full responsibility.
Full credit for that change.
If it was not for you, I would not have this thing. You see, I can admit when I get into situations because of people. But
you motherfuckers call me bougie.
You are. There's nothing wrong with that.
$2.50 drink made me bougie. Meanwhile, I'm here in fucking flannel ass shorts, fucking old ass fucking chucks, and fucking striped shirt.
Bro, I'm here in my slacks and my ETN shirt and hat. I'm just repping the brand. It's nothing.
That's bougie.
It is.
Like,
bougie. I woke up this morning.
You got more bougie on your neck than I got on my body.
Yeah, man. Actually, I don't know. I'm still trying to figure out if my wrist if my wrist is more than my neck right now. Like, y'all can't really see it, so I'll show you them both. Okay. But
and I'm the bougie one.
Yo, listen, man. I'll say it how it is, and please, viewers, don't take offense to this because I'm just saying it how it is. I cannot leave my house and get the same response or reception that you can in today's society or this community. I can't. Like, as soon as I step out of my house, people automatically think I'm intimidating, I'm aggressive, and they might not be wrong, but that's not my first two qualities, you know what I mean? It's just what it is. So for me now, and I'm not trying to make it a black and white thing, but, like...
You're just going to, though.
I have to in this instance because, like, it's almost like up until recently, the depth of my tone was not associated with anything of significance outside of slavery or drug dealing.
Here's one little twist to that, though. As a guy who's always shaved his head, pretty much, had baggy clothes and listened to hip-hop, I might not necessarily get judged right away, but the second they find out about me, I face that same shit. If not more so, because I get questions for why, which is weird, because clothing styles and hairstyles should not have a color.
No, neither should listening styles or vocabularies.
But, like, for real, like, I get told, why are you acting like that? Well, motherfucker, because this is what I'm acting like.
No.
Like, why do you dress like that? Well, because it's fucking comfy. Why you wear skinny jeans?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, so you gotta take shit like that into consideration. I mean, it may have used to have been more black and white, but at least the way that I grew up.
Tay-Rock throws it in the crowd.
Like, I legit have been fucking called, like, race trader and shit. What do we got, chicken wings?
Now, you see, I don't, like, there's one thing we have common ground on. I like chicken.
Chicken wings!
Chicken wangs!
Chicken wings!
What you mean? We got some chicken wangs, courtesy of the Wifeager. Shout out to the Wifeager. I got these wings from Borderline.
And see, black, white, we both like chicken.
We both like chicken.
We both like chicken.
As a matter of fact, let's talk about chicken for a second.
Wait, is it fried?
Oh, man. That's the best, really. My mom makes a meat, like, I don't know what it is. My dad makes this mean chicken where he fries it. But my mom makes this one where she fries it and then she barbecues it. And, and she uses the Diana sauce. Oh, my God. I'm not telling you which Diana sauce. But she uses that Diana sauce. Gosh. Christmas. Yo, 2 years in a row I went down there just for that chicken.
When are you gonna bring me some of that chicken?
Yo, man, now that I know you like chicken like that, I'll get some more. But I think I'm doing a low-key family thing. But back to the whole, back to the whole chicken thing. Did you know that, contrary to popular belief, it was actually Jewish people who popularized chicken? Yes.
But chicken's not a desert animal.
I understand that. But once they found it, they're the ones who actually...
But I would assume that, like, while they were wandering the desert for 40 fucking years or whatever, that some other dude was like, look at that fucking bird over there. Let's chop his head off.
What did Tay-Rock throw into the crowd is what I'm trying to figure out. It's not type Tay-Rock throws it into the crowd. I don't know what we were talking about when he typed that up.
Race?
Oh, man.
Tay-Rock throws white dudes into the crowd?
Oh, my goodness. Maybe. I don't know.
What does Tay-Rock throw into the crowd? Chains, probably? Oh, bling.
Bling. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, I thought about that because we have this song, like, but it's just too expensive to do that. If I were to do that every time I perform, that'd be out, like...
Mock jewelry, bro.
Huh?
Mock jewelry. You think that when dudes do that shit, that they're throwing something that dude that catches they can go and sell for 15, 20 G's? Probably
not, but I'm not talking 15, 20 G's, but like even, like, no, man, if I'm dropping jewels, no discussion, I want that shit to be legit jewels, like, ha, here you go, motherfucker, and they go, oh my God, I got that from the blog.
I want that shit to be counterfeit as a motherfucker. That way I can go home and still spend my money. Jesus Christ.
Man, I'm gonna have me one of them here chicken legs.
Just want to give away a bunch of fucking shiny shit.
Why not? Isn't that what we're supposed to do as artists?
No, we're supposed to make music. Or whatever our art is. And present it as such.
And improve the functionality of our community.
It'd be nice, but not realistic. Look at most of the artists out there. They don't do that. They spend their money on drugs and cars.
I know I'm not one of those artists. Don't get me wrong. Like weed's legal, and I just got a ban. But
no, I ain't one of those guys that spends my money on drugs and cars or nothing. But I did just buy a car and score some of these here drugs.
Yeah.
With my money.
Yeah.
But ignore the fact that I did that because I ain't like that.
What I was trying to say, while I was eating this damn chicken wing, giving this guy a way to like cut me up and shit, was that the purchases I made are to the benefit of my family as a whole.
Yes, they are.
Not just myself.
So does everybody smoke the weed?
No, they benefit from the weed because I'm calm.
Same in my household.
You know what I mean? Like, as long as I'm calm, everybody's happy. You know what I mean? And not to say that's the only thing that calms me down. But
when you're ever having a bad day, do they ever just look at you and say, go smoke a joint?
Oh my God.
And you're just like, I'm mad at you for saying that, but
yo,
you're right.
Yo, Jenny's upstairs right. I know Jenny's upstairs right now with it like, yes, Terp, he has.
Oh, it's funny, just calm you down and just like, listen, go fucking smoke something.
It's like, are you okay? Did you smoke something this morning? You want to go and? You sure you don't want to go do that?
I noticed the house smells a little nice right now. How come you haven't stunk it up a little bit? What the fuck?
Yeah, you know what I mean. It is. It's the case. It's the situation. It's the scenario. You know what I mean? But it's jokes too. Still, it has happened. I'm not gonna deny it.
Okay, so I'm not the only one.
No, and I looked at her. I'm just like, so what you're telling me is you approve of this? You're not gonna call me a lazy fuck for just smoking a blunt? Bang on, game, let's go.
I look at that, I'm like, wait, so you're gonna leave me alone for like half an hour?
Nah.
Boom! Ding, 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 ding. I'm gonna roll this one up fat and might two-tape it.
Bro, I'm honestly gonna make you look bad again, and I'm sorry, but like
you always make me look bad.
I bring her with me sometimes. When we first, okay.
But she don't even smoke.
She doesn't. That's the thing, but like, it's good conversation because usually I go through like all
YouTube on the phone, bro. Netflix.
Man, I smoke like more time. Like the first time I'm down here by myself. Like during the day, if I do, we're going over like the business and stuff like that. Like this afternoon, we were talking about the show that we have at Borderline, 607 King Street in Welland. Check that out. It's gonna be live. Dubs is gonna be there.
Welland.
Tino's going to be there. Zach Burry's going to be there. C-Notes Jones is going to be there. Tori Cook's going to be there. The Block's going to be hosting it. What else? Yeah. We got the Niagara Busker, a.k.a. Chronic Spirit, but that's... Yeah, there's a conflict of interest.
Fucking homeless bum. Fucking job. Fucking...
Well, these are candid conversations.
Oh, bro.
Like I said...
Goof nugget.
I just hope the same thing that's happened with the last three don't happen again. But I feel like there's a potential. But I'm trying to see the other side of the coin.
Well, I hope you have a good show. Just Chronicles of Goof Nugget. Ain't going nowhere this fucking life. Be a fucking man.
Well, that's an opinion. Very, very sharp on it.
Come see me if you got a problem with what I'm saying.
Very sharp on it, that. So, excuse me. Let's talk about something else. Capitalism.
You just like, how can I spin him off of this shit? Capitalism. The only thing he hates more.
That's the only thing I know he hates more than people. Is the process. Oh man, no, I can't say he hates people. He just doesn't tolerate people who create problems for those he cares about. But
facts.
Let's talk about the fact that the Walmart is now predominantly, and I say predominantly for those of you who don't know, means more than the rest. Predominantly is self-checkouts.
Yes!
Really?
Lean towards socialism like a motherfucker. Walk into a store, walk out with that shit. 100%, bro.
There are people who would swear that is like the devil.
And those people would probably still be fucking reading newspapers, riding fucking horses, drinking milk that gets delivered every fucking day.
I wouldn't mind fresh milk.
Motherfuckers out here scared of change. Go with change. You ever seen Total Recall? You ever seen Fifth Element? You ever seen those futuristic movies? Why the fuck don't we want that?
Because you ever seen Total Recall? Have you ever seen The Fifth Element? Have you ever seen that last one you mentioned?
The main characters, they get fucked up, but look at everybody else living their lives, bro. They got flying cars. For instance, flying cars. You know what's going to happen? Well, who's going to build roads? All the people who build roads are going to lose their jobs. Yeah, motherfucker, progress. You know who else lost their job? The milkman. You know who else lost their fucking job? The guy who fixes wheels on carts. Lots of people lose their fucking jobs.
Ladies and gentlemen. He's going in.
I love the idea of automation.
You know what I love right now? I love the fact that my phone is sitting on this gimbal donated to me temporarily by Jill Lund. Jill, I figured it out. Bam, bam.
Can we also thank automation for perfectly creating that product?
Oh my gosh. It's like everybody wants to talk on my phone when I tell them that I'm busy. Yes, you can dress up. Dress up.
That's what she said.
Okay.
But no, I'm totally fine. And allow me to also say one thing.
Yep.
Because I know that I seemed a little bit over anxious when I said that yes about Walmart. Talking to people who work at Walmart, no jobs have been lost. You know what that does? It
frees them up for productivity to
back
do
in the
shelving
day,
and stuff like that.
When you go to Walmart, it would take like 2 hours to fucking find somebody to help your ass because there was one person on the floor and 60 people that wanted help.
Yeah.
That ain't a problem no more.
Bro, I can't get no one to help me into no stores. I walked into a store the other day and I made eye contact with a woman. I'm not even going to call her a bitch. I made eye contact with a woman. And I'm walking towards her and she starts walking away and I'm just like, wait a minute. Like, the eye contact was to establish that I required your service or your energy for some purpose or reason. How are you going to walk away? Yes, I am a stickler about customer service because I go above and beyond the call of duty for those that are in my company. I do. I go above and beyond so many times. Like, part of the reason we have a van, like, there's only 3 of us in the family. I thought, well, let's see, I work with these guys. Sometimes they're not going to want to drive. I took the coalition into consideration. You know what I mean? And not just the coalition, some of the other people I work with as well.
In other words, he got the van so that I can get drunk sometimes because I was always driving everybody over.
All the time he was driving.
I appreciate that.
No problem. You know what I mean? And that's how you share the load. When you... Oh, jeez. Pause.
This man just said that's how you share the load.
The workload. Like, when you have one person that's always doing a good percentage of what needs to be done. Like, Stott probably resents, like, not outwardly, but, like, he probably has issue with the fact that he's always the one who's recording. The same way, like, you're always the one who's driving. The same way, like...
I don't... You know what? Maybe for other groups it might be like that, but we've kind of found a good balance, right?
Yeah.
Like
I've noticed that.
Like, we just kind of do for each other. There's not really questions, oh, this needs to get done. All right, bet.
Yeah.
Well, we'll get that shit done. If we're awake, we'll do it.
True. I've seen it done that way, you know what I mean? Shout out to the coalition. Then, like, you have people who will put an album together and not even be in the same studio. That's, like, Choom Gang right there, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's so many different ways and formulas to make it work. It's just, when it comes to bringing certain or some groups together, it's just, there's, like, a catalyst involved that's required. But I'm not sure what it is yet. You know what I mean? Like, I can work independently with each group,
Yeah.
but when it comes to bringing more than 3 groups together, there's always someone in one group that has a conflict with someone in the next group.
That's Niagara music for you, bro.
It shouldn't be. Like,
shit, though.
Not to the degree that it is.
Here's why.
Okay, I understand competition is
No,
healthy.
and saying even going competition. Is we're in a music genre that 90% of the people try to claim that street life shit. Like
I'm
that,
in the 10%.
but that's what hip hop is, right? And that's what all these little crews are.
I've seen people claim to have phantoms and bling, and I knew I had more swinging than they did.
So you have, like, it's just it's just gonna happen. There's gonna be real street style beef that shows up in these crews.
I get that, but the diplomacy. This is where capitalism again wins over diplomacy, because everybody is trying to make it for themselves, as opposed to looking at how much further they can get working together.
To be honest, I think a lot of the music that I see in this area, working with them would be a detriment, because a lot of them are just straight ass.
Yeah, but we're not talking about the straight ass people. We're talking about the known heavy hitters. We're talking about like the Dubses and the Tinos. We're talking about the Stoddies and the Blocks.
And there
we're
is
talking
work
about
together
the
between
Ezzas.
those. There is. I mean, there's not necessarily one big ass huge collab or nothing.
Which is exactly what I'm talking about.
But there is tracks combining different crews and shit like that. Like, it does happen.
Yeah, the only person that I mentioned just now that I haven't collaborated with is Tino. I put that out there just for you to know. Still, bro.
Tino.
Anyways.
Yo, he just gave you the eyes, dog.
I have a collaboration in the works with somebody that is featured on my fucking November 16th show. Someone people never thought I'd work with. I'm saying it this way, so it's not as actually.
Is his face gonna say it all?
Yeah. Hey, like I said, there are people making moves, and look, man, if I can squash an issue that has been created by the masses, then there's no one else should be creating complications of any nature.
Some issues shouldn't.
We shouldn't be beefing with each other. We should be like, if anything, why not beef with like Toronto? Like, draw a card on Toronto. Say like, okay, we're doing this down here. The same way the East and the West caught issue with the Midwest.
It's not as much fun, you know.
By proximity, I understand.
You gotta know, like, yo, you say something that, like, the thing is, especially in a spot like Niagara that has like 3 malls and shit, like the Christmas season's coming up, you know, people are gonna start getting punched out over like hip hop beef, because you see each other Christmas shopping. You see each other when it's a local beef. There's always that you better watch your fucking mouth aspect of it. Whereas if it's somebody that's across the country or some shit, you can say whatever the fuck you want, because you know the chances of that dude showing up on your block is fucking 1,000,000 to 1.
Yo,
But if dude lives half an hour down the street and you say the wrong thing and he says, I'm at your house in half an hour.
I've seen people turn ghosts, bro. I've turned people ghost in front of me. So I understand what you're talking about where it comes to the local thing. I'm saying, like, I'm looking at the bigger picture. Like, if we want an international scene emanating from this local region, like, even if these beefs coexist, there's still going to have to be some kind of effort by the factions who can work together to surpass.
If there's one thing that I've learned from watching, like, hip-hop, and actually I learned this from watching about the South. The South was quiet when it came to hip-hop. They had a few people, but they were ignored until you had T.I. beefing with all those motherfuckers. You had Little Flip beefing with all those motherfuckers. You had Chingy. You had all them Southern artists who started getting into, like, little local beefs. And then people started paying attention to it. And a lot of times, and I can honestly say that that's almost a point where I can almost see hip hop music because we've never really had a blow up around here. There's never been like we could have enough talent here to have a name, but it's never really come out
because there's too much conflict.
No, right now we're at the breaking point where everybody's starting to see that there is that open slot, but it ain't gonna fit everybody. We gotta weed out the people who don't fit in there.
And who determines that?
It's gonna be a war, bro. It has to be.
It doesn't have to be.
It has to be.
It doesn't have to be.
It has to be.
It does not have to be. It's designed to be. It's perpetuated to be, but it doesn't have to be.
Your gimbal just went.
Limp. My gimbal went limp.
What the fuck?
There we go.
Oh, this guy moved that shit with buttons.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, that shit right there. That's back. All right, Bab. Yeah, gimbal went limp. So there's strike one.
Like, look at it this way. What was the name of the website that you helped pioneer?
Letsbeef.com.
So what was that again?
I get it. Letsbeef.com. And for those of you who don't know, the slogan is "Stop bitching, start beefing." So, seeing as how I did that, I didn't create that, but I kind of literally started beefing with organizations across the globe.
Now let me just use an example here, comparatively to the local.
Are you gonna eat a motherfucking chicken wing so I get some time to talk?
Yes. But hold up. Was that beneficial to the online battle rap community?
It's beneficial to the hip hop community in general.
And
where was URL when Let's Beef started?
When it came to online battling, text battling, and all that shit.
Yeah.
Which was ignored until something came up and said.
I just asked a question that got ignored. I said, where was URL when Let's Beef started?
Probably Smack's basement.
Okay.
All right. I don't know, when did URL start?
I'm almost positive it was after Let's Beef, but I don't have my phone right now to use to look, so.
Hold on, I get that in.
I am so passive aggressive it hurts sometimes. But yeah, so the whole point of my statement is yes, letsbeef.com was a conflict-based website where you asserted yourself or established dominance by devouring your foes lyrically. What I'm saying is if we know, okay fine, if we know that it has to be a competition, why can we not organize a competition?
Ego.
I can't argue with that. I really can't. It's true. Much love, Topsy. It's valid. It's true. But at the same time, like, okay, so then why is it so hard to get past ego since you seem to have all the answers?
Well, for each individual involved, that would be its own issue. But we're in a community full of artists, bro. We all get into it for some reason.
Bro, I'm telling you, and
some people, who knows? Arsenal may be disrespectful because nobody will give him a hug. Maybe Disaster is so pissed off because he just can't find nobody to kick it with on a fucking Tuesday.
These are legitimate possibilities, though.
You never fucking know.
And I'll say this, like, the artistic community doesn't have to be competition-based because, like I said, I've been kicking it with certain crews and other crews, and I see differences in their general conduct. Like, the Lund crew, everything's just like a loving situation, you know what I mean? There's respect for mutual respect, there's camaraderie, there's, you know what I mean, there's a gelling type of vibe. You know what I mean? You walk into a Lund event and, like, you feel welcome kind of thing, where some situations I go to and I'm looking over my shoulder the whole time. Oh, God. It's a sneeze.
Ironically, he looked over his shoulder to sneeze.
I'm telling you.
That fit.
Yeah. So, you know what I mean? Like, I understand, like, hip-hop is, can be seen as an aggressive culture, but...
It is, though. It inherently is. Like, hip-hop is the inner city, equivalent to punk. Punk was more the suburb, the rebellious. Hip-hop was basically, it's all fuck the man, I'm better than this.
Same with metal.
It's not I'm better than you, it's I'm better than this, is what hip-hop's all about.
Yeah, but a lot of people have misconstrued it. A lot of media has misconstrued
it. Oh,
yes.
But, like, at its roots are not happy, bro. Hip-hop's roots are not happy. They're not, it's not an art form that was born out of...
Was the person happy after they expressed the... But, so you're telling me that okay, Mr. Evolution, Progression, Development just said that we have to stay in the same mentality that originated something originated in. That doesn't make sense.
An art form in its essence should remain what it is, because it's a creation.
It's music.
Yes, okay.
Music doesn't have to maintain a negative.
But then it becomes something else.
How does it become something else?
Well, how many genres of hip hop do we have? We have like 500. Fucking, there's emo, soft, slow, slit your wrist fucking rap. There's fucking whatever the fuck Lil Yachty does. There's auto-tune bullshit. That's not my demon. That's not my. But I'm just saying, like look at even the rock genre. There's soft rock, hard rock. There's all these subgenres. There's punk rock, contemporary. There's everything.
Yeah. So diversify. So that's why I'm trying to say, why does hip hop have to maintain? Like, why does the image of hip hop have to be maintained by a perspective of ignorance?
I don't think it's a perspective of ignorance, though. That's like looking back and saying LL Cool J when he dropped Mama Said Knock You Out was ignorance. That track's classic.
It is a classic track, but it is kind of ignorance.
Think about one of the most.
Mama Said Knock You Out, not Mama Said Have a Conversation and Resolve Our Differences.
What was the most impactful thing you remember from hip hop in the 90s?
I want to say DMX.
No, Situation.
Situation. It's going to be the East Coast, West Coast beef.
Exactly.
Outside of the fact that there were two artists who didn't conflict at all with anybody in the industry, from the best of my knowledge, and established their careers effectively. One that you mentioned, LL Cool J, he wasn't as profane as the greater percentage of hip hop, and then there was Will Smith, who didn't swear at all, really, from what I can recall.
Can we please just take a moment to recognize that Will Smith's career was not big because of rapping, it was big because of acting?
I'm not saying his career was big because of rapping. He made a career off of rapping after he made a career off of acting. But he made a career.
Let's just be thankful he found TV. Because his music was.
In your opinion. But it was fun-loving.
No.
Fun-loving.
Going to Miami.
Advocational. Go ahead.
Bro.
Go ahead. Throw another one at me.
No.
Throw another one at me.
Will Smith went out of his way to make rap music your fucking grandma could listen to. And that's just weird.
Hey, but there's music for everybody, right? So you can't really disregard one group because you're not really. Well, if you want to disregard one group, that's another individual taps into. That's fine. Like,
I don't think you would ever put Will Smith in the top 200 rappers.
Oh no, he's definitely ahead of any of these little anythings, except
There's
for
still
like
probably
maybe
200
Wayne.
over time. Like he's not on the list of people who are on my.
Unless it's Wayne and a handful of others, there's no Lil anything that Will Smith isn't better than. And I said a handful. I said a handful.
I know it's close. Some of those Lils are just as bad.
No, I'm not even.
I might put him ahead of Lil Yachty, Lil Pump,
Lil Uzi Vert.
That guy's just weird.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. Any of these Lils, you know what I mean? Like, need to find Phil and get the drill.
But I still wouldn't necessarily say that they're worse musically than Will Smith.
Put them side by side on Hardline this time. There you go. Pick a Lil that Will's not better than, and we'll put them side by side with. I wish I remember the name of that track. Because you're thinking, you're stuck in getting jiggy with it. You haven't heard some of his bangers. And I wish my memory wasn't so fucked up from, like, a brain injury and all this weed. But, like, but seriously, like, he has some tracks that are tough.
Will
Like,
Smith has some bangers? Is that when he's singing with Jazzy Jeff?
oh my gosh. It's like, it's like he just doesn't want to see my side of the story.
No, I get you. I get it. You know what? I get it. His music was fun, I guess. Like, the bitches liked it. Like,
Yes, women did like it, Sarkis.
This motherfucker right here.
That was such an American phrase right there. This motherfucker right here. Oh my gosh. Like, every now and again, like, you let it slip out.
Oh, I know, bro. He comes out. Like, whenever I always hear it whenever I say y'all. I didn't realize y'all. Like, I even have to catch myself. I find myself saying it too much.
Oh, man.
I realized y'all didn't say it down here.
Nah, use. Use is one that I started using. Just like, yeah, man, how you's doing? Use? What?
Can I ask you a question?
Wait a minute. Oh my gosh! Do you have a pumpkin yet?
Pumpkin?
The pumpkin. Oh my gosh! Words.
Pumpkin.
Thank you. Thank you. Oh my gosh! There's so many words that people misuse. Jenny's probably upstairs. Like, what does that say? Hold on. Oh, lucky. Happy Halloween, David. Thank you. Women was love it. But now fall on hip hop house music. Let's support each other. Yes, man. We should support each other in the music that we're making. That's what's up. Oh my goodness.
I will support any talented artist.
Yes. As will I. Like I said,
Even if it's somebody that I don't like personally, you have to give credit to the talent.
My goal is to expose the North. So, like, I want to highlight the talented individuals, and then once you highlight the good, more good will surface. You know what I mean? If you keep looking at, if you keep poking at a scab, it's gonna become a wound. If you keep poking at your wound, it's gonna become a sore. You keep poking at a sore, it's gonna become infected.
Keep poking deep enough, you're gonna run into bone.
Exactly.
Jesus Christ, bud.
Yeah,
Get your finger out your leg.
Get your finger out your leg. What you doing?
You eat pills for that or some shit.
You know what I mean? Like, so you just gotta, but like when you focus on when you water the seed, you know what I mean? It tends to grow. When that tends to grow, you tend to reap what you sow. It's just a matter of believing in and working towards the best. Because you say believe in the best, and people sit on their chair, I believe I'm gonna win the lotto. I'm gonna win the lotto.
Do you actually believe in people though?
I innately.
Like you think inherently mankind is
inherently
full of positive.
Inherently, they're worth saving. They're worth saving for the most part, and I feel like if they weren't, we would have had some Thanos-like shit happen already. Sorry,
Have you seen the world lately?
That is
kind of have some Thanos type shit. There's villages disappearing.
Yeah, that just happened too. That was Thanos.
And that's humans that are making those decisions.
Yeah, it is. But you can't judge all based on the actions of some.
It all depends.
Well, I mean, I'm saying that very reluctantly because I know I've been judged by others' actions, even though I wasn't even responsible for them. But, you know.
Sorry.
It's
I'm sorry, Bob. I didn't mean to get you. Y'all stop dragging this man into shit that is not his fucking problem. You got a problem with me, say it to me.
Yo, bro, I'm telling you, even the other day, like, my brother sends me a message, and he's a busy guy. Usually I hear from him when I call him.
Oh, that conversation on the Facebook there?
Yeah.
I was reading that, I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah. So, okay.
Me and your brother have gotten into it, though, before.
Yes, you have. But, like, you know, I mutually asked for a ceasefire, and both of you were respectful enough to do so I appreciate that. But this guy comes now, and I said to him, they're talking about, okay, ultimately speaking, for those of you who don't know, check my timeline for the whole thing, but it was an issue discussing transgender individuals, that's the best way I can be politically correct, transgender individuals competing in sports for a specific gender. So any transgender competing in a male or a female sport. Now we've had women compete in male sports. We don't have men compete in women's sports. But there were a couple situations where there's an MMA fighter that's a transgender female. I don't even know if I'm saying it the right way. And she's fighting in the MMA, in UFC, I believe. Or the MMA somewhere. And there's a big old roar over this because, like, men possess testosterone that doesn't just disappear regardless of any orientation
here's
surgery.
The thing, though. So the issue is, I'm assuming, male that became a female that wants to fight in a women's league.
Yeah, or fight.
Testosterone would not be an issue if they are fully done the change, because they receive years and years of estrogen training. So a lot of their testosterone, because women have testosterone too. Don't get it twisted.
I know that. I've seen
a lot of people, a lot of transgenders that change, their levels are actually lower than a natural. So her testosterone level would probably be lower than the average female athlete's testosterone level that she would be fighting against if she is fully gone through the change. So she would actually be at a disadvantage when it came to testosterone. The only difference is how much testosterone played on her body before the transition. Is she going in with biceps like this because of 30 years of testosterone? You know what I mean? But
I'm surprised to hear this opinion from you personally.
But in the moment, like at the time, if they're completely done the transition, her testosterone level would be lower than the average fighters because she's being fed estrogen.
But does that mean they should still be able to compete in a league against women, knowing they were men? Like,
if it's fighting, I think that fully has to do. And I mean, personally, I don't give a fuck. But if it's a fight one-on-one, ask the challenger, ask the opponent. It's up to the opponent. That's where I would place it.
I don't have an opinion on this either way, to tell you the honest truth. I was just interested to see, and I do this from time to time. I'll post shit on my page just to see other people talk about. Like, I'll post my music, and then I'll wait for anybody to share it, and then I'll post some controversial shit, and I'll watch people just chew that shit up.
Controversy.
I understand
gets
that.
You every time.
I understand that. I believe the moniker controversy sells. You know what I mean?
Like
Eric Bischoff is a fucking genius.
With the transgender argument.
Okay.
When it first started, like, happening, because growing up, transgender, that was just weird James in the corner who fucking, like, dress or something, right? Like, or Molly was a tomboy. Like, it wasn't that big of a thing for us growing up. So when it started kind of becoming a big thing in the last fucking decade or so, at first I was eerie. I was like, that's some weird shit. But you gotta realize, just like you choose to have podcasts and be a father and
making my good choices out to be something detrimental to the balance of society psychology.
It's not really. How is it though?
How is it? How am I supposed?
Aren't you all about get out of my fucking business?
No, I'm all about the key to maintaining a successful business is minding your own.
So
let's say it the right way, so I don't
words,
look as ignorant as people portray me to be.
Sorry, I said it in my way of saying it, which is mind your own fucking business.
Thank you. The key to maintaining a successful business is minding your own. And even my niece, shout outs to my niece, she reminded me about that like not too long ago. You know what I mean? I used to fucking think it was fucked, but then I realized after a certain point, why the fuck do I care? You shouldn't care what life choices anybody's made as long as they're not detrimental to you. That's what I'm saying. And excuse me, I agree with that, rather. But what I'm trying to say is, how do we balance out the fact that there are people who are transitioning from one gender to another where it comes to athletics without impeding on the progress that's been made?
That, although a touchy subject, would be easy to deal with in the time. Like, it's case-by-case basis. Like, if you can't have some chick walking into their version of MMA that's the size of Brock Lesnar.
No.
Like, that just wouldn't be fair.
No, that wouldn't be just.
But if you have one walking in that's the size of CM Punk, then you put her up against, like, somebody like Ronda Rousey or something like that, who's just who would kick the shit out of CM Punk.
Yeah, probably.
Then it doesn't really, you know.
You think Ronda Rousey would beat CM Punk?
100%, bro.
I don't know, bro.
And that blonde bitch that KO'd Ronda Rousey, bro.
Oh, Cyborg?
Whatever her name is.
Oh, fuck.
She'd probably beat the fuck out of Brock Lesnar, bro.
Yo, honestly, Brock is one mean motherfucker. I would not I'm sorry, Brock. It's my fault. He can't. So I was trolling Paul Heyman online. Oh shit. There we go. Oh, wait for it. There we go. Yeah.
You have to press it every 15 minutes?
I guess so. It kind of goes off. But yeah, there we go. So I was trolling Paul Heyman online about how, like, he did this promo about how Brock Lesnar is, like, indestructible and all of this shit, right?
Yeah.
So I'm trolling him online. I'm just, talking about trash. I'm just like, yo, it doesn't matter how big you are. You get hit in the right place, you'll drop like a ton of bricks. Bro, up until I made that comment, he was infallible. All of a sudden, why is Lesnar getting hit in his fucking jewels? Like, Undertaker beat him. Why? Kick to the jewels. Oh my gosh. What happened the promo later? Uppercut to the nuts. Oh man, bro. Like, I'm sitting here like, Brock, it's not my fault, dude. I swear, I was just trolling. I was just trolling. I swear, and because with social media, you can affect, like, almost instantaneous change. I remember there's this time I had a problem with...
Yeah.
had a problem with a company, and I'll leave. They'll remain nameless. No, I don't.
Oh.
I have a problem with a company, but I have one better.
Okay.
And they'll remain nameless for now. But they were creating an issue for me. So I said,
Is this the company we were talking about over the last couple of weeks?
it's the fruit.
Oh, okay. He's talking about Barry.
Okay. So I go to them. I said, look, man, you're gonna fix the problem or you're gonna lose some money. Those are the options. I paid for this. It's not working. Fix the problem or lose some money.
You want me to write that? Will you pull
Yeah.
that?
Yeah. So as they keep going back and forth with me, I'm like, this is like a 2-year ordeal. I'm going back and forth with them. I'm like, you're gonna lose money. Like I'm online #war on capitalism. Like, you know what I mean? I'm saying their name and I'm typing in their name and I'm saying what they're doing wrong, and I only have like 40 characters for Twitter, right? So I'm just there typing their name and typing what they're doing wrong and saying, like, you know what I mean, putting my story out there. Bro, they lost 2% of their profit. 2% of billions of dollars is a significant amount of money.
To them, though?
To them, yeah. To them. Them and we've retired CEOs. That's why I have to conduct myself in such an upstanding manner, because I see bad, then feel bad, and have to do good. But there are people who see good and want to make it work, like make problems for people. And I can't, like, I don't know if it's my size, my stature, my psychology, like my personal experiences, the people I've spoken to over the course of time, but I'm not going to leave anybody at a disadvantage if I know I can do something to help them. Unless, you know what I mean, they're just scum.
Sorry, bro. Dealing with that.
No, that's okay. And I'll let you know, there are some people out there that are scum.
Oh, there are definitely some people out there that are scum.
If
some of them are buskers.
If you're watching right now, I'm not calling you scum. But if you know someone that should be watching because you share the link to them and they're not watching, it's scum.
I don't know. I can't see who's watching, but there may be some scum watching.
No, there's two people watching right now. I can't quite see who they are because there's a name in front of it. But yeah, man.
You're probably not scum, man.
No, you're not scum. You're not scum. You see how you scum. But that's a Simpsons show for anybody wondering why I carried that on so long. Oh man, like we got like 15 minutes left, probably 25. But what time is it? Wait,
it is 6:22.
6:22. All right, cool. So we're making good time. When
are we gonna leave for your shit? Sorry,
man.
your show.
Yeah, I was to say that probably like 10 minutes, but no, 15, 20 minutes. No, but
the last 10 minutes of the show is just gonna be me sitting here with the camera because this guy's gonna be upstairs dropping a deuce.
You'll hear the flush because the tube's like somewhere over there. I'm joking. We're just.
You see me cringe because of the smell.
I prepared my dad jokes for tonight. Want to hear one?
No, not really.
Okay, what do you call the place where people pee a lot?
What?
Urination. Anyways,
No.
Oh man.
No, that's like introducing yourself to the waiter. Hi, I'm John. I'll be serving you. Hi, I'm Dave. I'll be getting served by you today.
I would.
Motherfucker.
Bro, I remember one time I walked into a fucking movie theater and I'm just like, I'm there and I'm like, I'm out of my tree. And that's probably not the greatest thing to reference because of how, you know, yeah. So I'm just past the clouds and I walk in, I'm like, hey everybody, how you doing today? My name is The Block. We're going to be watching Transformers. Hope y'all have some fun. They're like, yeah. I'm shouting out through the movie and shit.
Bro. No.
Great.
You must be a riot.
Oh my gosh, bro. Honestly, I think that's one of the reasons we stopped going to the movie theater. The last movie I remember watching in the theater was actually Transformers in 3D, and it was like the second or third one.
I think the last movie I saw in the theaters was Zombieland. The first one.
Zombieland.
It's been a long time.
Okay. That's
Oh, no, wait, I shouldn't say that because I've taken my kid to see a couple movies. So last movie I saw was Doctor Strange.
Doctor Strange. That was a dope movie.
Yeah, that actually was.
Or
either that or that new Harry Potter shit with the animals.
The World of Mystical Beasts or something.
Yeah,
like that.
whichever one came out last, I saw that because I only saw that shit in the theaters.
Okay.
That shit, I should have maybe paid more attention to that shit. I'm a stoner, like that shit's kind of interesting.
Yeah, man. Like you see all the special effects and all that shit that happened.
Doctor Strange actually impressed me. I thought I was gonna be bored because I don't like those. I don't fucking like superhero movies and shit.
Yeah, I was surprised to hear that you watched it.
It was actually good. It was a 3D version too, so it was like really.
Oh, so you got immersed into, you got to see all that shit.
Yeah,
like
shit was all like floating by and shit, and I was just like,
man.
yeah, like this. Yeah, all right, I fucked with this, but then I watched like X-Men and I fucked with it.
The original cartoon X-Men was the best X-Men. I haven't seen Dark Phoenix yet. I want to check that out, but I will usually wait till it's on the theater or on the.
I'm more horror movies. I'm a horror movie buff.
Superhero movies, comedies. You know what I mean? Sometimes the animal movies. You know what I mean? It has to be a good one though. Like
when you say animal movies, are you talking about like Dr. Dolittle or like Homeward Bound?
Oh, jeez, that's a good question. Dr. Dolittle fucked me up. It really fucked me up. Cause
had you looking at your cat in the corner like,
yo,
talk, motherfucker!
Yo,
talk!
I'm showing you. Like, I'm sitting here, I'm walking, I'm just like, a bird would tweet and it would look at me and I'd just be like, are you saying something I'm supposed to understand? Why am I not getting what you're saying?
And you're just wondering if there's a certain segment of the population that can do that and they just don't tell you that they can.
Would you tell anybody if you could? Would you tell anybody if you could?
I don't know. I'd become the world's most famous vet.
Bro, speaking of shit, like, I had a DJ here yesterday. What up? That's the last movie we saw. Yeah, that's the last movie we saw at the theater. Transformers. I had this guy here, DJ M. Fucking wicked DJ. Shout him out, you know what I mean? He plays at Casino Niagara every now and again. He used to train dolphins.
That's dope.
That's dope as fuck.
That's dope.
That's so dope. I was like, what do you mean? And he looked at me with a straight face. He's like, yeah. He's like, I'm a funeral director and I used to train dolphins at Marineland. And I'm like, funeral director? Okay. What do you mean used to train dolphins at Marineland? How do you train dolphins? I'm like, you're probably tired of human communication then because, like, we don't vibrate on that frequency. To which he agreed, modestly. But yeah. There's a whole lot that, you know what I mean, you don't know about people until you ask them.
Yeah. No, facts.
Mm-hmm. Try to get this lit for those of you listening on Spreaker.com. Yeah. So, we coming around the bend. Tonight's a bit of a shorter episode because...
Y'all don't just matter that much.
Not that. It's because we got, like, other matters to tend to and things like that. You know what I mean? Check out Borderline tonight at 607 King Street in Welland. Come from wherever you at. You have enough time to get there, even if you're leaving from Toronto. If you leave now,
you got an hour and a half.
If you leave now, you'll get here in time for the show.
Have you seen Toronto traffic?
Okay, fine. If you leave now, you'll get here in time for the show.
You seen Toronto traffic? If you leave now, you'll get here in time for tomorrow morning.
Nah, bro. If you leave now, oh wait, it's 6:30. Yeah, no. If you leave from Toronto now, you can make it here by 9.
Bro, you're in the middle of all the commuters who are talking about off at 5. No, you'd be here in 3 hours.
Yeah, you can make it here by 9. Show starts
2.5.
Show starts at 9. I just gotta get down there early. I gotta pick up the DJ. You know what I mean? DJ Stretch on the 1s and 2s. Oh yeah.
Alright then.
It did that. It did happen. For A Dog's Purpose. That was the movie. A Dog's Purpose.
Oh, I don't want to know, bro, because I want to see that movie. That's the one where the dog keeps going through the life of a dog.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear a fucking whisper about that, bro.
Oh.
I want to watch it and see if my kids cry.
Watch it.
I've been told that my kids are gonna cry.
Have you ever seen August Rush?
Plot.
Orphan child, abandoned by parents, seeks them out to discover he has musical inclinations similar to both parents.
No.
Oh my gosh. I don't want to say anymore. I don't want to say. You don't hate John Mayer, do you? Okay. I think he's in the movie. I can't remember the female lead, but she did a brilliant job. August Rush.
Have you ever seen? It's old. It's an old movie. It's called Searching for Bobby Fischer, or that chess movie.
Yes.
Bro, epic movie. When it comes to like, just because I just started thinking, it's just because you were telling me about the kid with the talent.
Yeah.
And anytime I think about talented kids, that Bobby Fischer movie.
If you like that Bobby Fischer movie, bro, this one will because you're an artist. You do music. This one will blow your fucking mind. Like you will never make an instrumental the same way again.
No.
That's how deep the movie is. You will make an instrumental and you'll be like, I can add something to it. I'm telling you.
I'm not finished
yet. I'm showing, like, there's this one scene in the movie, bro, and it's just, like, there's a couple of scenes in the movie that are heartwarming, but there's this one scene in the movie where, like, my brain just kept going from the shit that was happening. You know what I mean? Like, I can't even...
Did you seek medical attention for that?
No.
That seems like aneurysms.
It probably was, but, like, they bursted and the blood settled, so... It's very good. Oh, my gosh. So, shout-outs to my, I have to call it Indians? No, I can't call them Indians. East Indian friends. I saw this guy one time, me and Jetty were driving. And
why race you got from him?
Because, like, I have to tell you the type of guy he was. Like, he was a brown guy. I don't want to say brown guy without being able to say, like, you know.
No, I guess East Indian.
East Indian, yeah. So we're driving, and he has this thing hanging from his rear view mirror, and I'm just like, what is that thing? And like Jenny doesn't know, so I go wind down the window. I'm like, brother, what you got there? And he's like, oh. I said, where'd you get that from? He's like, oh, it was gifted. And for the whole ride, which was like a half an hour ride downtown Toronto, I was just like, all I could say was, it was gifted. It was. It was great. It was so funny.
Wow.
Yeah, man, cause like, and I want you to I want you to notice how I acknowledged him though, brother. You know what I mean? I didn't say, yo, dude, whatever. You know what I mean? I said, brother. You know what I mean? So.
I do that. I say either bro or buddy or some shit like that. Hey, buddy. If I call you bud, though, that means I'm going to smack you in the teeth.
I hate when people call me boss. I say the only person who should call me boss are my kids. Yeah, man.
That's a prison thing, bro.
Hung her. I just don't like it.
No, I'm just letting you know. Like, when,
okay. I now understand.
You
like
got probably 80% of the people that call you boss have served time.
Damn, we went there. Shoot.
So you call the COs. Well, some people call the COs. I normally call them fuckwads. Hey, you asshole, stuff right there. You can call it whatever you want. Boss, yeah, it's kind of like a, like when you're like that's a you've been in for a bit.
Okay. Well, that being said, I now feel awkward. I want no one, like, I know COs, like, I wouldn't do their work.
Can we get one of them in here that I can talk to on the show one time?
No, they live too far.
I would love to fucking talk to a CEO about some of the shit that goes on behind bars, right? Shit that I've seen, the shit that's been done to me, fuck. I would love to have a CEO sitting in there, just have an answer to some shit.
True, that would be an interesting conversation, but like, watch. I'm gonna end up making friends or coming across a CEO now. I can almost guarantee. And it's gonna be an awkward situation at first, but I think it's gonna end up in an interesting show. So
and it's legal now, so I'm gonna smoke that CEO right the fuck out.
Wow, you said that with some intensity, brother. Oh my.
You have no idea, bro.
Oh my god, I have no idea.
I had a CEO one time because you know how you're supposed to get your calls, right? Well, I never got my call the one night, so I was sitting there. I'm like, basically yelling through the door. I could see a fucking payphone through the slot. I need my fucking phone call. I haven't gotten a phone call. Oh, the phone's broken. Fucking 8 hours later, shift change. Fucking, I guess probably 10 hours later because I think it was 10 or whatever it was. Next morning. Fucking, can I get a fucking phone? I'm snapping. I get a phone call, no problem. That one fucking CO was just fucking lying to me.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, bro. I was fucking pissed.
Bro, you don't know nothing about being quarantined for a weekend, though. Because some asshole said he had some fucking sickness.
No, but I know what it's like to fucking go in there, scrap, win the fucking fight, and spend the rest of my time upon punishment up in fucking max.
Bro, I'll tell you off.
That shit suck, bro.
I'll tell you off camera what I had to do.
You know what they do when you go up to max for those reasons, bro?
What?
Somebody walks up to your door and says, "What'd you do, fight or rat?" And you got like 3 seconds to tell them who you fought and how bad it was. Otherwise, you're a piece of shit. I looked at the door. I said, "Fought." And I gave the dude's name. The next thing I knew, they were fucking teaching me how to fucking make all this prison food, fucking bringing me books.
They asked what I was in for. I said I called a politician about an issue in my city, in my writing. Motherfucker laughed at me. He said, and I'm just like,
no offense, bro.
Yeah.
But if I was younger, I said, "What are you in for?" And you said, "I called a politician," and your shit felt.
Oh.
I'd be like, I'd probably laugh at that shit too, especially back when I was like doing that shit.
Yeah. Nah, but that's what I'm saying. Like, the things that you've described on previous episodes and the things that I've described on previous episodes are like this.
Dude, you are so salty on this shit, I can tell. Bro, can I tell him about the story that made you want to punch me in the throat?
Oh my gosh, he almost caught a throat punch. I'm telling you, if I didn't have respect for him and the shit that he's done for me and all of that, oh my gosh, like I saw him, I could picture it just. You ever see those shows where like the person's talking, but in the cutscene in the back of their mind, they're doing some like fucking mean shit? That's exactly what was happening to you, bro. I had to let you know.
We were having a talk, just smoking a blunt. We were talking about fucking inequality in today's world and the difference between the races and the shit that he had to face compared to what I had to face. And I fully acknowledge the fact that being from, like when I lived around here, I was in like a more affluent area that I lived in, and I'm white. And I got pulled over like a week after. No, like fuck, it was like right after I had just gotten my license. And I got pulled over driving down the back roads with a bunch of people hanging off my fucking vehicle. Fucking we were fucked right up, like not a sober body in the car. And yeah, the cop just pulled me out and fucking like he asked me, "Are there any drugs in the vehicle?" And my answer, and I love this to this day, the cop told me it was the best answer he ever got. I said, "Not that I'm aware of." So keep that in mind. Not that I'm aware of.
Meanwhile,
you're not denying it that they're there. You're just saying, "I don't fucking know. There's a lot of people in my whip."
Meanwhile, I got a ticket for turning left in front of a cop car trying to get the fuck out of his way. Literally, not even 15 minutes after I got my G2.
But I was cool with like getting caught on the back road with people literally hanging off my vehicle, going like fucking full speed. Like I probably would have, if the cop didn't show up, I probably would have like killed my friend. Like it was bad. We too young.
Are you hearing this, society?
Too young, too intoxicated.
Are you hearing this, society? And I'm the motherfucking problem.
Did I ever say I wasn't the motherfucking problem?
No, they actually have a song where they say you are.
I fully acknowledge that I'm the motherfucking problem.
What's that one? Haunted Dreams or Who I Am?
Haunted Dreams and Who I Am, kind of both.
Okay.
Dabble with that.
Speaking of which, I'm about to get the director's cut of Who I Am on my...
Oh, yeah.
On my, what's it called there? Channel.
You gotta get
on
that
my
shit.
channel. Yeah, man. I'll show you that shit tonight. It's gonna be bomb. We're gonna close this off now. Thank y'all for tuning in. It's been a laugh riot. I've coughed my lungs up, and I got some running around to do before the show that's popping at Borderline 607 King Street. Come check it out in Welland. It's going down. We're gonna have people. They're gonna be performing. It's gonna be live. I'm talking like this for no reason.
What he said.
All right, cool.
That's what he said.
It is. All right, but for now, It has been Candid Conversations with Interp and your boy, Lil Black.
Peace out, y'all.
What's up? We out. Said we out.
You know how to work that thing?
Yeah, I got it. I figured it out. Okay, cool. All right, yeah. Just like that, we gone.